Hi guys, welcome to another GPU price watch video for Singapore. GPU prices in Singapore. I'm Charlie and this is for most gaming systems. So right now this is kind of like the best GPU prices that I've seen this whole year. And take note, I've done videos for used GPUs as well as new GPUs. So today's video will be for the new GPUs. That means the 9000 series from AMD, the Intel Arc 570s and 580s, as well as the Nvidia 5000 series. Okay, so let's get to the list. And yep, so I haven't done some of these videos for quite a while because I accidentally deleted all my hard spreadsheets that I've worked so hard for the past half a year. That was back in, I believe, August or July that I accidentally deleted it, and it was just too much effort to try and rebuild it. So I'm gonna slowly rebuild them with time, when I'm making these videos. So right now I've rebuilt the GPU like brand new Excel sheet, a brand new GPU price list Excel sheet for just the month of October, because I've lost all the previous months, unfortunately. So you can see I tried making one for August, I just couldn't get motivated to do it. So starting now in October, and prices are great. Let's start all the way from the lowest end to the highest end. Highest end will be our 5090, and the lowest end right now is the Arc B570. Arc B570 is actually only has 10 gigabytes of VRAM. It is a weaker version of the Intel Arc B580. And yeah, that's that. So I'll go through the prices first. If you guys have any questions about how to read this chart, please feel free to comment in the comments below, and I'll probably explain it in the following videos and so on. Okay, so from Tech Deals, so we have the Arc B570 at $338. Let's try and see Tech Deals. Let's try and look for our Intel prices. Wait, do I have it? Am I blocking it? Okay, let me move myself to the top corner here so that I'm not blocking my price list. 550. Wait, did I make a mistake? I don't see it on Tech Deals. Oh, okay, it's here. I didn't have it highlighted. Let me highlight it. Okay, so at Tech Deals, the Sparkle Intel Arc B570 Guardian. This is a 10 gigabytes VRAM GPU. This is priced at $338. As I can zoom in here, as you can see here. And moving on, the next one will be the Arc B580. So Arc B580, the cheapest one I can find it at 390 Singapore dollars at the techyard.com. So let's just search for graphics cards. This is the techyard.com website, and we will go from sort by price low to high. Yep, and we'll zoom in a little bit, and is this the one? 390. Let's go back to our list. So you can see the techyard.com has one at 390 Singapore dollars. So that is this, the Sparkle Intel Arc B580 Titan OC, 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and it is in blue. Okay, and let's move on to the next one. The 5050. So the Nvidia 5050, their lowest end 5000 series GPU. It's 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Not really recommended in terms of performance, but the cheapest we can find it also is at the techyard.com at 364. So it's right here, Zotac GeForce RTX 5050 Twin-Edge OC 8 gigabytes. So that is the cheapest RTX 5050 that we can find in Singapore. And moving on at 5060s, also at the techyard.com. So 5060s, I believe, should be the cheapest one, should be this Palette GeForce RTX 5060, also 8 gigabytes of VRAM at 415 Singapore dollars. Moving on, cheapest 5060 Ti 8 gigabyte that I can find in Singapore is actually from Dynacore. So if we try and go to the price list, go to Dynacore, 5060 Ti 8 gigabyte. Let me go back to the list here. 509, I believe I found it here. So 509 right here. So this is the MSI. Let me zoom out a bit. So the MSI GeForce 5060 Ti 8 GB Ventus 2X, that means it's 2-fan. So the 2-fan model from MSI Ventus, 509 Singapore dollars. So that's a 5060 Ti 8 GB. Moving on, 9060 XT 8 GB. So this is a little bit of a too good to be true deal. So I don't know whether it's legitimate or not. But on Amazon.sg, let me go to Amazon.sg. So if we search for 9060 XT, okay, well, not this 9060 XT. The cheapest I can find is 387, which is this Power Color Reaper Radeon RX 9060 XT 8 GB. So this is the Reaper model is the cheapest one, and Amazon has this listing at 386 and 40 cents, but I think we haven't add in. I don't know whether it's free delivery. Okay, so I don't know whether GST will be factored in when we add everything in. Wait, am I blocking the screen? So this is Amazon.sg, right? And move myself down here again. Yeah, so I don't know whether this is a legitimate one, but it's sold by Amazon US. So ships from Amazon US, so this should be legitimate. So at this price, right, this is our best value GPU at $6.91 Singapore dollars per frame, per FPS. So the best value bang for buck GPU that I can find. This is the only time I'm going to be recommending a 8 GB VRAM GPU in 2025 or moving on 2026, because at 387 it is so far way cheaper than the next cheapest one, which is the techyard.com, or the next cheapest one is which is from Dynacore. It's just unbelievably cheap. So yeah, if you're looking for a budget GPU and you don't mind 8 gigabytes of VRAM, let's say you're playing esport titles, mainly like Valorant, CS2, and so on, which doesn't take a lot of VRAM, at $387, it is an extremely good deal, because the only alternative we can consider is maybe an Arc B580, which is 12 gigabytes of VRAM. But if you can see FPS wise, this FPS is, I got it from Tom's Hardware. The Arc B580 in terms of raw FPS generating power, it is actually weaker than the 9060 XT. So if you are playing a game that is not limited by VRAM, let's say esport titles, you actually will get more FPS and smoother gameplay performance going with the 9060 XT 8 gigabyte, and you're paying less than for the Arc B580. So yeah, if you're looking for a budget brand new GPU, I would say grab this while stocks last from Amazon.sg. Okay, so there's that for the 9060 XT 8 gigabyte. That's an amazing deal. Moving on, 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte. The cheapest I can find one is from the techyard.com again. So let's go to that. Let's look for our 5060 Ti. What's the price? 60 Ti 517. Maybe let me drag a bit closer. 517 50 Ti. Is it? No. Oh, has it gone away? Is it sold out? Wait, damn it. Oh, not the tech yet. Oh, 5060 Ti. Oh no, 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte 609. Whoa, 609. Oh, this is 8 gigabyte. Okay, so it's next. Where is it? 5060 Ti, okay, right here. So at the techyard.com, whether am I blocking it? Okay, let me move myself to here. So at the techyard.com, the cheapest 5060 Ti 16GB is the Zotac GeForce 5060 Ti 16GB Twin Edge OC 16GB at 609 Singapore dollars. So I am blocking it again. Let me move myself up here. So that is the, where is it? From 5060 Ti 16GB, that's the cheapest one that we can find, 609 Singapore dollars. Moving on, 9060 XT 16GB. PC Teams has the cheapest one at 517. So let's take a look at PC Teams. So there is a shop from Simlim. Let me try and get to the GPU part of its price list. Should be around here. Is it loaded? Oh yeah. Okay, what's the price again? 517. Do we have it here? Okay, we have it here. Let me highlight it. Okay, good. So and save it. So the cheapest 9060 XT 16GB is the Power Color 9060 XT Reaper 16GB white version, surprisingly. So the white version at $517 is pretty surprising, because usually white versions are a little bit more expensive than their black counterparts, because black is more popular, so there's more supply. So that is the cheapest 9060 XT 16GB from PC Teams at $517. Moving on, the cheapest 5070, which is a 12GB GPU, which is from the techyard.com again. Let's take a look. 5070 right here. Zotac GeForce RTX 5070 Twin Edge OC 12GB GPU at 768 Singapore dollars. I think it might come with a free copy of Arc Raiders. That is 768 Singapore dollars, which is not too bad, because Arc Raiders, I think, probably costs about, what's the price of it? Maybe about 60, like 80, maybe even 90 Singapore dollars. But I've tried the playtest and it's not for me. It's a really boring game for me. It's an extraction shooter. So to me, Arc Raiders has no value. But to you, if you know you are planning on buying the game anyway, so this is a good deal to sweeten it. But anyway, this is the cheapest 5070 that I can find at the techyard.com, and is actually below MSRP because it's 99% of its MSRP price. So extremely good deal there if you're looking for a 5070. Moving on, a 9070, which is a 16GB GPU. So the cheapest one that I can find is also from the techyard.com at 859. So 859. Let's move down a little bit. So this is the Power Color Radeon 9070 Reaper 16GB GPU. So it's a non-XT at 859 Singapore dollars. So at that price, it is still above its converted MSRP. That means USD converted to SGD plus 9% GST, so and so on. So it is not the best deal, but the 9000 series GPUs have been getting pretty popular. Well, mainly because the Nvidia 5000 series are a little bit more expensive in Singapore. So yeah, and more people are buying the 9000 series. So it's reflected in the price, whereby you can see that the 9000 series is still above MSRP, while the Nvidia GPUs are actually dropping to MSRP or even below MSRP in rare cases like the 5070. Okay, moving on. So the 859, the cheapest 9070. Cheapest 9070 XT 16GB GPU is also from the techyard.com, and we should have it shortly here. The Power Color Radeon RX 9070 XT Reaper 16GB GPU. So the cheapest you can find at 945 Singapore dollars. Anyway, just to side note, is the techyard.com is a branch of Aftershock, which is the biggest PC retail brand in Singapore. So they are pretty reliable. I don't think it's a scam. So all these prices should be very legit. You should be able to get your product shipped. I think I have bought products. I've bought, I think, a air cooler from the techyard.com before, and they shipped it to me within, I think, 1 week or 3 working days. So pretty legitimate. No issues there with their service. Okay, moving on. Cheapest 5070 Ti 16GB, also from the techyard.com. And let's scroll down a bit, probably on the next page. Will you have it here? Yes, right here. Palette GeForce 5070 Ti Gaming Pro S 16GB at 1125. So that's the cheapest 5070 Ti 16GB. Cheapest 5080 is from Dynacore. So let's look at our price list. Yep. So cheapest 5080 here is the MSI GeForce 5080 16GB GPU Shadow 3X OC. That means it's triple fan at 1,549 Singapore dollars. So that's the cheapest 5080 I can find right now. And finally, the cheapest 5090 GPU is from Tech Deals at 3,318. Let's take a look. So Tech Deals, scroll down. Yep, so right here, MSI's RTX 5090 32GB GPU at Ventus 3X OC at 3,318 Singapore dollars. So that's the cheapest 5090 I can find in Singapore. In terms of value of the GPU, like which would be the best value GPU for you to buy, honestly, it's really up to your budget. But the spreadsheet is done in this way, whereby we have our percentage to MSRP. This is the converted MSRP, and you can see from here that the B570 is pretty close to MSRP. B580 is above MSRP. But if you're talking about the Nvidia series GPUs, like the 5060 is actually below MSRP, 5060 Ti 8GB actually below MSRP, and the reason for that is because probably nobody is buying these 8GB GPUs, especially on the DIY market, the enthusiast market, because 8GB GPUs just purely suck. Wait. Wait. Oh. This is still, okay, it's only 90, yeah, but it's below MSRP by 92%. So at the 9060 XT 8GB, earlier I mentioned, is a really good deal because it's really below MSRP at 92%. But the rest of this, the rest, like even the 5060 Ti 16GB is actually pretty close to its MSRP. So it's actually not too bad as compared to the 9060 XT, but still the 9060 XT, the cheapest one, which is also close to its MSRP, is 100 Singapore dollars cheaper than the 5060 Ti 16GB. So still the 9060 XT 16GB is still a better deal there, so on and so forth. Then how do we rate whether a GPU is a really good deal? If you look at the dollar per FPS, the lower the number is, that means the less amount you're paying per FPS generated in-game. And take note, these FPS are from tomshardware.com, and I took it from their 1440p average gaming results from their benchmarks. So from here, the best deal we have is 9060 XT 8GB at 387 Singapore dollars if you buy from Amazon.sg. And the next best value GPU, I guess, would be the 9060 XT 16GB from PC Teams if you buy at $517. But you can see that there's a lot of options for relatively cheap. Like Dynacore also has one for 519. Also pretty close to 517. Then even if you miss that, you can go to the techyard.com. You can get one at 525. Amazon has one at 528. So 9060 XT 16GB GPUs are gonna be the best value GPU for, like, I would say low end to mid range. That would be the best GPU, because we are paying more than $500. So I would say that is no longer a low end budget GPU kind of price, probably a mid range GPU kind of price. Then moving on, you can see the value for like 9070 XTs is pretty similar to the 5070 Ti, but similar to the 5070 in terms of value. So the 5070 is actually not a bad deal at 768 Singapore dollars. So if you're looking for a 5070, grab it from the techyard.com, because it's technically at or below MSRP. So this is a rare instance. 5070 Ti is MSRP is a lot more expensive than the 9070 XT. So in terms of value, you can see that it's 11.1 compared to the 9.6 of the 9070 XT. And if you're going higher end, the 5080 is technically also worse value at 1549. And if you're going for 5090s, the value is the worst at 23 Singapore dollars per FPS generated. But in terms of MSRP, I would say $3,318 at only 17 or 18% above its official MSRP price, which is 2008. This is actually a pretty good deal for a 5090. So if you're in the market for 5090, if you're doing AI work, if you're doing video editing or any 3D video rendering, if you need somehow you need a lot of VRAM and you need the most powerful graphics card. No, not technically not the most powerful. You can have the Nvidia like the A6000 or RTX 6000 and so on, but those are very, very expensive. So at $3,318, I would say is actually a decently good deal, good price, because the rest of the 5090s are all so overpriced. And if you look at one of my past videos where I did for the used GPUs, right, like even for 4090s, people are selling 4090s for 3,000 plus. Like the price for used 4090s are not dropping because the 5080 is nowhere near the performance of a 4090. So people are not letting go of their 4090s for cheap. Yeah, so might as well buy a brand new 5090 and you get warranty with it, because 5090s do have the risk of getting burnt up on their power connector side. So that is it for this update of GPU pricing for the month of October 2025. Somehow it has turned out to be the best month to buy new GPUs. So if you're in the market for to build a new PC or to buy a new GPU as an early Christmas present, I would say this is pretty good time to buy one. All right, and we will see you guys in the next video.